Hello everybody and welcome to another scrapbook process video. Today I'm taking on the challenge of fussy cutting. Now anyone who knows me knows I hate it, so I've already done the fussy cutting off camera and I've cut out these roses from a sheet of paper. They're a watercolour effect and we'll have some fun with them. I've got an idea to use them as a frame for this black and white photo of Hope, one of the cats that I've been looking after recently. So I've cut that photo into a square. I believe it's 4x4. And I'm just going to glue that down. I'm heading for one of the corners and then I'm going to build a frame around it. So it's really easy. I'm just gluing the flowers down in random areas and I'm working sort of diagonal to diagonal. It helps me keep things even rather than suddenly running out of the flowers. So I'm starting with the larger flowers, popping them around, and then I'm working into the smaller ones. You can see some of the flowers are tucked behind the photo. Others are sitting on top of the photo. And in a minute, you'll also see me putting some of those flowers onto pop dots, just to add a little bit of extra dimension. Now, I could have just left the frame there with these two gaps at the top and bottom, but I've got plenty of flowers, so I'm going to fill up the gaps. There's nothing worse than having little bits of fussy cutting left behind. It's one of the bits that annoys me about it. I've also cut out some of the really small little petals too, and those are the little sort of dot-like things you can see. So we're also going to use those spread about the page as well. Now, as I'm adding these foam dots, I'm not really thinking about composition. I'm just getting them stuck down. It's just to add a bit of dimension. I mean, I'm not covering up the image completely. I'm making sure the cat can still be seen. I've covered up certain aspects of the photo, like the TV that's in the background, because that doesn't really add anything to the photo. This is all about the cat. So as I'm adding those, I'm now down to those little petals. I'm going to start adding them, and they can sit slightly apart from the frame that I've got going on there, which is great for me as far as I'm concerned. It helps make it look more cohesive rather than just a load of flowers stuck down. It looks like there's petals falling about, so they can be starting to dry out at various stages of flowerness, I suppose. And get these bits glued down, and obviously need tweezers for that, because I can pick up little bits with my fingers, but tweezers are much easier. Seriously, having done this for about, oh God knows how many years, sometimes picking up with your fingers is really difficult. Tweezers, doddle. And it allows you to place things down more precisely. The next thing I'm going to do is add dots, because I love enamel dots and I've got so many of them. And this will just, help me use up some of the dots that I've got, but adds a little extra colour. So I'm going to use gold because I've got a lot of yellow in there. Possibly some of the grey ones too, and we'll see. There's no real pattern to where they're being added. I'm doing this as a really random spread of dots, because I tend to go for things that are lopsided more than anything else. I don't do symmetry very well, not intentionally anyway, and that's all I want it to be. Literally, that frame of flowers, a few dots and a title. And the title for this is Fluffball of Doom, because she's a black cat. I've chosen a yellow letter sticker because that blends in, that complements beautifully the yellow in the flowers. It brings that to the forefront, but also helps to contrast with the sheer amount of pink that's on the page. Those flowers are very vibrant, which is partly why I've chosen to use a pale background, or a white background, and a black and white photo. So I'll get these letters on. It's difficult to position them because I've not really decided where they're going beforehand. It's more just figuring out what's going to fit and where. So I'm playing around with them a little more than I might normally, just to help me get them to A, not obscure the picture, and B, so that they actually work. I'm going to cover up the photo so I don't get any ink on it, and I am going to add some splashes of ink, and to do that I'm using a Heidi Swap mist, which is in navy, so it's quite a dark colour, and that's it may need to help complement the black in the photo, but it's not actually black, it's navy, so you don't see it as well. Now, from the close-ups, you can see how much dimension is there and how good it actually looks to create, like to do this bit of fussy cutting. So for someone who hates fussy cutting, I really do appreciate how good it does look when you get it on the paper. And, you know, it was part of a challenge from the Go Go Getaway team, so I wanted to share how I interpreted that with you. Thank you very much for being with me. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, leave me a comment, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye!